At 4:35, let's get you up to speed on the stories you need to know to start your morning. A Valley man is behind bars accused of plotting to kill his own brother over inheritance money. Mesa police arrested Ross Emick after his brother says he received several threatening emails and phone calls. Court documents claim Emick was upset his brother received $136,000 from their grandparents. According to police, Emick threatened to have his brother killed and his brother's family kidnapped if the brother would not give up the cash. Emick was later arrested and admitted he hired a hitman. He now faces several charges, including conspiracy to commit murder. Chad Daybell's case is headed to trial. He pleaded not guilty to 4 felony charges in an Idaho courtroom on Friday. Daybell is married to Lori Vallow Daybell and is accused of concealing evidence after his wife's children, JJ and Ty Lee, were found buried in his backyard in Idaho. They used to live in the East Valley before Lori abruptly moved them to Idaho last fall. His trial is expected to start in January. A lot of Arizonans are receiving new deposits into their bank accounts from the IRS, but this is not another stimulus payment. Instead, the IRS is sending interest payments to tax filers who turned in their paperwork on time this year. About 14 million Americans are getting these deposits, some as little as $1. There is a catch. By law, these interest payments are taxable. If you receive more than $10, the IRS will send you paperwork in January to add it to your next tax return. And now you're up to speed. Don't forget, you can always find the latest news on our website, 12news.com, or the free 12 News app.